Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. In this video I'm going to be replacing the bonnet release cable because it's worn and needs replacing. So let's flip the camera and crack on with the video. See you in a second. So the first part of changing the bonnet release cable is getting access to the cable behind this panel here. So what you've got to do is remove the trim from here, up here, and then this will pop out in a second. I'll show you, and you pull the carpet down to get access to the cable from behind here. So let's flip the camera and get that done. So let's start by getting all this up. Use some trim removal tools. Remove there. Then remove this panel here. And then this lower guard here, bit of trim. And you can see the yellow clips. There's one there and one there. Be careful when removing these, because these bits here can snap if you're not careful enough. And then to remove the handle, get a pick just here. You've got a little pit to put in and pull the cap out. Okay, now in here, okay, there's, as you can see, there's that little square bit, but either side of that, this side and this side, there's two little prongs and they sit like this and they need to be pushed in so you can release it. Now you can use your pick like this, but it don't always work. It's a bit fiddly. So I discovered using a 10mm socket, so it slots in just right, push in, and then it just releases it quite easily. Okay. Let me show you a quick close-up of what I mean on here. See, as you can see, you've got one pin here, a little bit that comes out, and there's another one on the other side. So what you do is with the 10mm is you're actually slotting it over them and it's pushing them in, so you can release the actual lever. There's the cable there. So let's move the carpet out of the way. As you can see, there's a couple of torque screws here. So we're going to remove them, and the cable runs behind the sound deadening and up through the firewall. So let's get this out, pull this sound deadening down and have a look where it runs to. So the torque screws are 25 each. There we go. Let's pull the sound deadening out of the way. Try and unclip this cable here. if I can pull this down anymore. So from what I can feel, looks like the cable it looks like the cable runs up behind the glove box area. It just runs up just here and up around here. So what I might do is just remove the glove box to have a look behind and see if there's any other way of getting easier access to it. So let's get this glove box out of the way. So removing the glove box is quite easy. You've got a couple of T20 screws. You've got one here. There is one in this side just below here. You can just see my finger here. Then you've got a couple up here. Then you've got a couple of 10mm bolts, I believe, up the back here somewhere. There. Okay, there's only one in there. Okay, so let's get this out. Okay, so that gives us a bit more access to see if we can find where the cable actually runs. There's a hell of a lot of wiring in there, as you can see. So somewhere behind that is where this cable runs. Okay, so I've had a dig around and I'm going to flip the camera and show you what's to be done to do this. Now, if you're replacing it, I'm guessing the easy option would be to cut the cable and rethread a new cable. But I want to do this properly because the cable could be worn and the inside of the actual cable sleeving could be rusty and just cause problems later on down the line. So you're best off replacing it as a whole, like I'm doing. But let me flip the camera and show you how and where the actual cable runs to. So let me show you. Okay, so I've managed to get my hand up behind here and right up behind here with the glove box out of the way. It actually does help. So I've pulled this little box off and the actual cable runs through the firewall. I'm trying to get my hand in the way. The cable runs just behind this section of wiring here, between this part and there's another clip just there, and the cable runs through the firewall around here, this area here. So what I done, I think what I will do is, for the sake of about 10 minutes work, is pull the carpet out, pull this plastic bit out. That's quite easy, look. It's like polystyrene. And then, sorry about this ain't my usual work. And then just gonna drop the glove box, the fuse box down. Just so you can slide it out of the way. Disconnect the cables, these just pop off. There should be another one. Zoom in. Just here. Pop that off. So you're trying to do this whilst holding the camera, but you get that one off. Okay, and then that means all your cabling can come forwards and out of the way, so you can get your hand behind to get access to where the cable runs here. So I'm going to get that out of the way. What you can see is I've just lowered the fuse box out of the way, so do all this to start with. It will make it easier because you can pull this carpet. There's another clip there that holds the car. I didn't see that one. Maybe if you pull this one off, that. Oh, that's a lot better. So yeah, definitely remove the fuse box. So what I'm going to do now is when you've got your hands on the cable, just follow it up with your hand, and you've got room now to move because all the wiring's loose, and just follow it around. And you'll feel where the rubber grommet is. Don't know if you can hear that. Okay, but that's where it goes through the firewall. So with that, I'm going to go to the engine bay, and I've got to remove the battery and the airbox to get access to this. So let's go around to the engine bay and crack on with that part of the job. So here's the cable. It comes beside the battery here, look, so you can see how tight it is, and it actually runs along and under the airbox. Let's zoom out a bit. Runs under the airbox, around here, and under this guard here, and into the lock catch. So remove the airbox, remove the battery, and it gives you more access and makes it easier to do the job. So I'm going to start by removing the airbox. Then with that moved, just start removing the battery. And you've got a little bolt down here, looks like a 7, no, probably an 8. Yep, an 8. And that ain't got enough power in it to do it. Let's just grab an 8mm and get that off of there. Just holds the battery clamp into place. The battery should just slide out. And there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 8mm bolts. One there, and one just to the side here. And the battery tray should come out. So I'm going to do something. Hold on, be right back. Gonna got my 3/8 ratchet. Forget I've got this sometimes. Makes last a lot quicker. And then the battery tray should just slide out. So here's the cable coming through here, and you can see where it runs. try and get down here, just below this connector here. So the last bit to disconnect is from down here, so it comes around here. So with that out, you've got two 10mm bolts, one there and one on this side, just here. Get them out and you can remove this mechanism to disconnect the cable here. So let's get that out. What we're doing here is releasing the cable from here. That just pops out. Say that. Just leave it to the side. You can actually see how frayed the cable is. Look. There's not much holding that together at all. Right. Don't know with the sun, me being in the way of the sun, but let's get this cable fished out. So, I'll give you a better close up of this cable and the state it's in. Right. So the cable runs along here to a clip there. So pull that out, and then it runs under the light only slightly. Trying to adjust this camera a bit, then comes up from down here, so if you pull it, it should come through. It might be worth taking the headlight out to put the other one in, and then it runs up under this bracket here, which is where the airbox sits, through this cable holder here. And that's it all out, as you just see there. Okay, so I've just dug the new cable out. As you can see, it's in a lot better condition here than the old one, so it's definitely worth replacing and definitely needed replacing. However, the plan I was thinking was you'd be able to pull this cable off of here and fish it all through from the passenger side inside the car. However, the little grommet is this way, which means I'm going to have to poke it from inside the car and out that way. So the plan is remove this cable. As you can see, I've had to put that back on it, so I had to release the bonnet. I'm hoping that'll come out of there. I can feel it tugging, so I'm going to put my hand up there, okay, and I'm going to push it from inside to out, which is technically, this is the grommet you're feeling, and it's that way. So I'm just going to push it through and it'll just pop out from inside the outside of the car, if that makes any sense. You know what, I wish I could actually show you behind here, but it's all being done by dropping tools. It's all being done just by feeling. So once you've got access to here, the cable, you'll be able to feel where it is. I'm wondering whether removing any more wiring up here will help. So I'm on that bit of the grommet now. It is a bit tight. Probably pull it through from the engine bay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this a pull, and hopefully it'll be able to come out. Go and check. Yep, it's all disconnected from in there, so it should just come through now. So I've got that out, proper fiddly, but yeah, it's gonna be fun trying to get that back in. But I'm going to work from the inside of the car and push throughout. So it's just going to be a laugh, because I'm going to try and get this through now. Really ain't easy. What I'm trying to do is, I think, is this clip here and this one just here. I want to try and remove them. Bring you back in a sec. Okay, I've managed to get the cable in. What you can see is I've just lowered the fuse box out of the way. So deal with this to start with. It will make it easier because you can pull this carpet. There's another clip there that holds the car. I didn't see that one. Maybe if you pull this one off, that. Oh, that's a lot better. So yeah, definitely remove the fuse box. Okay. And then just feed it through the gap. I'm just going to pop out the other side and see if I can see it anywhere. Okay, so I've come back out to the car after you see me faffing with it, and I managed to get this connector disconnected that runs to the inside of the car from here, and as you can see just down there is the cable I'm after. So it is, once you've removed the battery, disconnect this connector that runs just here, okay, and it'll make it so much more easier. See? There. Much easier that is. Now it's a matter of feeding it all the way through. Stay in my hands. Feeding it all the way through and getting it all back into place. So let me flip the camera and I can show me doing that. So feed it back through the exact same way as it come out. Eventually you'll find that little bit of that little grommet, and it just gently tug on it sort it out in a minute. Then feed it round below these cables here. This is where I reckon the headlight would help if it was out, but we'll try it like this first. There. So I fed it back around here and underneath there, through there, put it back into the clip. All that's left to do is reconnect it to the actual mechanism, the latch, but that's way better condition than the old one. Do apologise for the seagulls, but let's get this reconnected here, put this all back in, and then get back in the car and put it all together again. Quite simple to really put it back together, and just as it come out, put it back in. Careful not to catch the radiator in the process. Get that cable back in. This does help getting this out, but just be careful with it. Trying to put this back in whilst I'm holding the camera. Yeah. That's that done. This bit, it actually came off from down here. I think it's just one of them bits of plastic that's a bit useless, not actually needed. Like that. Battery tray back in. You know what, I really should give this all a clean up once I've got it all out all around here, but I'll do that in another video if you want to see it, so just let me know. So I slid that back in. Make sure I get the right 8mm. Get the battery back in, get the ground cable connected, put the clamp back in, job done. don't accidentally short it as I'm getting everything in. There you go, all in. Get the airbox in. So there it is, that's everything together in the engine bay. The battery's back in, the airbox is back in, the cables all run. All that's left to do now is put everything back together in the car. As you can see, I've got to put the latch in and all the wiring back up. So it is a job you can do yourself at home. Set aside an hour or two to do it. And you can crack on. So I'm going to get this all back in and we're going to try it out. So let's finish this off, shall we? Let's get all the wiring back up, then we'll plug this in and try it. So there it is, I've put it all back together, everything's clipped back in nicely. All that's left to do now is connect this onto here, and it just that's it. Then get your cap, job done. So I'll get the glove box back, you don't need to see me doing that. Put all the trim back in around here, and let's test it out, shall we? So the bonnet's down. I heard it catch. That's it. And if you remember, I had to stick a long piece screwdriver down there to release where that spring is for the wire, the cable. So let's see if it shuts down now. Job fixed, job done. So just everything's back together, the trim. All that's left is got to put the glove box back and we're done. Needs a hoover though. So, but that's a test for the power inverter, I'm guessing. So yeah, I'll do a test with the power inverter and we'll use a hoover in this car. So there it is, guys, there you have it. That's the bonnet release cable all replaced. As you can see, it's really rusty and it did need doing. I thought originally it was the latch, but cable definitely needed changing. I'm pleased I've done it. It is a bit of a ball ache to do. You know, you can see the fiddliness of getting it through the firewall, but it's definitely doable at home yourself with a bit of patience. And but it's all back together now and it's all fixed and it's all working okay. So there it is, another video done. So as always, if you're a new viewer and you like the videos, leave a like and maybe comment what you'd do a little bit different. And if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. And yeah, cheers again for tuning into the channel. All the videos I do are designed just to help you, and really. So thanks again, and I'm going to get on with the next one now. So see you in the next video. Bye for now.